What's up, guys? It is January 24th. Good morning. We're just finishing up our morning routine. It is freezing out here in New York. And this little guy, come up here, buddy. Come here. Oh, you camera shy? This little guy is begging to go for his morning walk. So we're going to go out in the freezing cold. So this should be fun. But I'm going to take you guys through another full day today, kind of what my life looks like, being an amateur bodybuilder, and the plan that we have some changes. So now we're doing 4 times a week cardio. It's going to be on the Stairmaster, just 20 minutes. Just trying to stay lean. We're up about 15 pounds from stage. So a couple things that I do that keep me super on point is I have everything laid out for the entire week. First thing I do in the morning, hydrate 300 milliliters of water. I subtract that from my morning weigh-in, and then you guys have seen in my last videos what my morning routine is. So I keep this right next to my bed, this way that I can get that in right in the morning, and I'll subtract the 300 milliliters from my weigh-in right after. Then we go through our supine curl-ups, side planks, 1 round of posing, then we get ready, and we're gonna go outside in 9 degrees right now. So I actually love that cold weather. I used to be such a hot weather person only, and now it's just like, there's nothing like walking outside and the cold just slapping you in the face. So I'm actually excited for this. We're gonna get out there. Then we're gonna do some extra steps on the treadmill. Just like to hit 5,000-6,000 steps before I start my day. And then it'll be time for meal 1, which is arguably my favorite meal of the day. So I'm gonna take you guys through the day, and let's get to it. All right, so we're heading over to the gym now. Got our first two meals in. Generally, I like to get 2 meals in before I train. I don't like to be too full, but I like to make sure I have fuel for my training. So pre-workout, we're getting in about 90 grams of carbs, about 15 grams from banana, and the rest is coming from my rice. Also like to make sure I get at least 1 gram of pink salt in. Just really helps with blood flow. It helps open up your veins, gets you really to just push blood into the muscle. So the more blood you have going to a muscle, the better pump you're going to get. The more reps, more sets, stamina in the gym will increase. So I'm a big fan of salt. Again, just making sure you keep your blood pressure in check, all of that stuff. I check blood pressure and insulin sensitivity once a week. And right now, we're right on point with where we should be. Just wanted to talk a little bit about training today on the way over to the gym, a little training rant. So, biggest thing that I've changed in my training is really stop thinking about just moving weight from point A to point B. When you're really able to dial in, feel a muscle group, and push the weight, and not shooting for too big of jumps each week. If one week, say you do 90 pounds on a movement, the next week you shouldn't be able to do 150 pounds. And I see that happen so many times when people are like, oh, I got to beat the book, got to beat the logbook. When really beating the logbook just means having more control, creating more stimulus. Like, we're not chasing more weight every single session. Trying to do that is just going to beat you up, and you're just going to be using worse and worse form each week. So make sure that you're standardizing your form in week 1 of your training. And my exercises don't really change. So I'll keep the same exercises just until it feels really stale and it's not connecting well. So generally, I'll have the same exercise for at least 12 to 24 weeks. So my plan does not change. May add a set after some time if something's not feeling like it's growing, or if I want to focus a little bit more on a certain body part, we'll add some volume there. Or if something is staying sore for too long, then we have to pull some volume. That's really the only changes I make as far as programming. Too many people go in the gym and do different exercises every single session, every single week. It's like I'm running an 8-day split right now, so it's 3 training days, 1 day off, 3 training days, 1 day off. It's just push-pull legs. Having that extra recovery day built in there has been super helpful for me to feel really good going into every session. I was running into where I was doing it 6 days straight, 1 day off, and I was feeling kind of beat up by the 4th or 5th day, and definitely under-recovered. So since we added in that rest day, all of my sets have been able to go a little bit harder, push a little bit further. So yeah, that's been really a big game changer. Other things that we're changing in training
Not much. It's really all just basic movements, control at 2-second eccentric, quick little pause in the stretch, and just turn everything on, and then we produce as much force as possible. So all of these studies on long length partials and all of that, it's great, and it may work to a certain degree, but I still believe there's some merit anecdotally to creating a really good hard contraction in each movement. So if you look at all of the biggest guys, it's not like they're doing these bottom half reps the entire time. And that's all in relation to the muscle. Like sometimes you'll see me on a lat pull down not extend my arm all the way, but I'm not working my arms at that point. We're just trying to get full stretch in our lat and then drive our elbows down to our pockets and really squeeze our lats. So full range of motion really means full range of motion for the muscle group that you're trying to target. So same thing on a chest press. Sometimes you might not be able to fully extend your arm at the top, and we're really just thinking about driving our bicep into our pec on that movement. So as soon as shoulder abduction is done, our pec should be fully contracted. So it doesn't necessarily mean that we need to finish with our triceps. If that's a lagging muscle for you, if you're way stronger in your chest than your triceps, you don't always need to be locking out every single rep in order to get a full contraction in our chest. So it really just depends on exactly what you're trying to focus on in the muscle group, in the exercise. So don't take everything as black and white that you see. And stop changing your workouts based on what you see on Instagram, because what works for one person doesn't work for everybody. And what you're seeing on Instagram, if they're a high-level competitor, they did the basics years ago. They built their foundation. You need to build your foundation before you can really change anything. You will grow. And then when something is lagging, that's when you're like, okay, now we need to dial it in on this, and we're going to really specialize for that muscle group, that body part that's not growing. But all these guys that you see at the top level, Jordan Hutchinson, James Hollingshed, just to name a few, they did the basics for years. Justin Shire, they did their barbell work. They have that base, they have that foundation. They are insanely strong. Now they're trying to find movements that they don't have to be as strong to create the same stimulus, because you're using a lot more muscle groups on those big compound exercises, and you're going to be moving loads that one wrong move and your career's over. So that's when you really dial it back. You use things like pre-exhausting. The whole point of a pre-exhaust leg day, so you're doing leg extensions, leg curls, then you get into your squat pattern, is so that you don't have to move as much load to get the same stimulus on your squat. So if I'm someone squatting 8-9 plates for reps on a hack squat, I might want to use leg extensions to burn my quads a little bit before I get into that. This way I can use 6 or 7 plates and provide my body the same stimulus. So it's all relative to how you program. You need to know exactly where you're at in your training age. And just because you've been training for 10 years doesn't mean that you're doing things right. So you could be in the gym for 10 years and your training age be 1. Like, yeah, you can move a little bit, you can move some weight, but that just gave you 10 years of developing bad habits versus someone who's new in the gym who doesn't really know anything. You can teach them a lot easier to break those bad habits. So first things first, if you're someone new into bodybuilding, into strength training, into working out, functional training, whatever you might be doing, make sure you dial in your movement first. Because if you don't, in the long run, it's really going to be hurting you. And you're not going to be getting the results that you're working for. It's one thing to go hard in the gym and push yourself. It's another thing to go hard and do things right and really create those adaptations. It's the same way, like if you play golf, you don't take just hard cuts every single swing on your golf. When you're first starting out, you have to learn the movement, because once you become smooth in that movement, your body knows it. That's when you can get a little bit more aggressive, have a little bit more fun in the gym, add in those intensifiers and really, really push yourself. But get your foundation first, and then start your training. So that's my rant today about training. I'm actually getting to the gym right now. We're training over at Bev's on Long Island today, and drinking our pump pre-workout. I'm not a big stimulant person anymore. I used to be. Drink pre-workout every day for like 10 years. I recently cut it out about a few months ago, and the pumps have been so much better. So I'm just taking a pump product before I work out and drinking my black coffee. Definitely still like to get some caffeine in, but I have that about an hour and a half pre-workout. Then I'll have my pump product, and hopefully we'll be adding some carbs back in during my workout very soon. Just still building up our baseline of food. We're 4 weeks into our push phase right now, so probably within the next few weeks we'll be adding in some more carbs. So I'm looking forward to that, but we're gonna get after it today. Might put in some exercises from today. I got push day 2. This is my shoulder focus day. And yeah, we're gonna get after it. So let's do it. Woo! So we just finished up our push day 2 shoulder focus day. Awesome pump. Definitely putting the carbs to work this off season. And it's not really an off season in my opinion. What you do some of the time, you do all of the time. So if you take your off season lightly, you don't keep routine, you don't push yourself, you're gonna take that right into prep. Your prep shouldn't be when you start getting ready for a show. This is a year-round, 24/7, 365 commitment if you really want to take it to that next level. So I've been dialed in from the second I stepped off stage. All of my meals, no cheat meals. Still keeping my routine, keeping my steps, keeping my cardio, keeping my training. And the goal is just to keep it as tight as possible, stay super lean, but definitely put on as much size as possible. After all, it is bodybuilding, so we're supposed to build muscle. But it's been really productive so far. I'm 10 weeks post-show today. We're up about 15 pounds scale weight, and definitely still holding the look, which is awesome. Still have some striations, some glute striations, leg separation, all of that is holding, which is awesome. It's exactly what I was planning for. So we're just taking it slow with the food increases and just letting my body absorb everything and making sure that my metabolism is on point, everything is working. So when you have everything dialed in together, that is when you can really make progress and take it to the next level. It's not only about as hard as you train, you have to recover. So allowing for that recovery to happen, having a set routine, your body gets used to. This way it knows when it's resting, when it needs to turn it on. And that's been super effective for me so far over these last 10 weeks and really feeling my best in the gym. We're really starting to hit our stride, hit a couple of PRs today on some movements. So I'm really happy with how today's session went, and the pump was awesome. Even just holding my phone right now, my arms are cramping up with blood. So definitely still really pumped. We also did our 20 minutes on the Stairmaster. But yeah, awesome training session. Feeling pretty hungry again, so hoping that we get a food bump this week coming in. So I'm really starting to get my appetite is cranking, and I'm taking in almost 3,600 calories a day, 6 meals a day. Can't wait to be done with this drive home. But one tip after you train is take a few minutes to just let your nervous system calm down. Listen to some calm music. Get out of that gym rage, if lack of a better word. Like, you want to just let yourself calm down before you eat, get yourself into that rest and digest state, and that'll help a lot with your digestion. So I'm gonna have my cream of rice with a little bit of oats in it, just again helps with digestion. We got our whey dip and blueberries and a little bit of cinnamon to aid in the insulin spike. After that, about an hour 45 minutes, 2 hours later, then we'll eat our next meal, because I'm buzzing for food like 45 minutes after I eat this meal, which is crazy. This is one of my bigger meals. But always super excited for my cream of rice. I use Pride Foods cream of rice. Super clean, really easily digestible. It's a perfect post-workout food for me. I absolutely love it. Yeah, but definitely want to just keep pushing. Scale weight's been steady at like going up a half a pound to a pound a week, which is exactly what we want. That'll help to keep the physique lean. Actually waiting for a big order from Gasp today. I'm super excited to get some new tank tops, some new tees and stuff to rock in the gym. Definitely need to freshen up the gym wardrobe. just my body changed size so quick that nothing really fits me too much anymore. So I'm looking forward to that coming later today. Also got our More Hydration coming today. Their drink mixes, they're super, super good. And it's just a light little bit of sodium and potassium in it. So like the Mios and like the store brands used to kind of mess up my stomach, mess up my digestion. But this one seems to be really, really clean, so I absolutely love it, and it helps me flavor my water. So I'm getting in that full gallon a day. Other than that, kind of just relaxing today. Got a little bit more prep to do. Oh, pro tip. Have everything laid out to a T for your week so you're not struggling in a mess if life gets busy. I go as far as weighing out my protein powders in bags for the week, so I can just grab and go. So no matter what life throws at me, I can just grab and go. I have all of my meals prepped, my supplements prepped, everything that I could possibly need. My clothes is out for the week, both for work and for training. My hoodies are out, everything is organized. I do that every single weekend, and yeah, it takes me a little bit of time, but when I can just go about my day and not have to stress like, oh, I might not have this today, it just relaxes my mind, number one, and number two, it makes it so much easier to be on point all the time. A lot of people ask me, how are you so structured and so on point all the time? It comes down to that preparation. So having everything prepared in advance is super, super important. So if you take a couple hours every single weekend and lay out your entire week, I'm also like over the top with it, but that's another story. But that'll really benefit you during your busy weeks. But we're gonna pull up home, we're gonna get this post-workout meal in, and I'll catch you guys in a little bit. I'll probably put in some of my training clips in here from today. Awesome session. Really happy with how it went, so you guys can see kind of what I'm doing. Training is pretty much the same, so not many changes. Alrighty, well, let's keep this momentum going. We're gonna get this post-workout meal in and kind of chill out the rest of the day. Later.